the visit of the Prime Minister to Ladakh is addressing actually multiple issues that the region is facing. The primary being the Chinese incursions along the eastern border, and one more important aspect of this visit is the anxiety among the locals in Ladakh. What has happened over the past few months is this coronavirus and this Chinese incursions have really put these Ladakhi residents into a soup where they are unable to understand how they can come out of this. This internal threat of the coronavirus and the external threat of Chinese army has pushed them all into a perpetual perplexity which they want to come out of. So when Prime Minister comes to Ladakh, this is a message to the people of Ladakh that the government in Delhi cares about them, and with this high level visit, the people of Ladakh, as I was talking to a few of them, they said that at least it brings some kind of relief to their anxiety. Also, after the Ladakh was declared as the Union Territory last August last year, the people in Ladakh in general thought that the direct central rule will really change their fortunes, which of course hasn't happened to the extent of their expectations. So this anxiety which the local BJP leaders have already conveyed to the central government was also addressed with this visit. Now we come to the military aspect of it. I see it that Prime Minister visiting Nimu and not the Durbuk, which is in the eastern Ladakh, also has two meanings. One, the Prime Minister doesn't want to dent the de-escalation efforts that are going at the diplomatic and the military level. So him directly going at the military base in Durbuk could have sent a different message. So he instead preferred to go to a distant place which is away from the border, 250 kilometers away from the border in Nimu, which keeps both the options open. It boosts the morale of your forces who are on the ground, and also keeps the option with the Chinese open, the diplomacy, the diplomatic option, and also the military negotiating option keeps all of that open. When we see the movement of the troops, the arms and the artillery that's coming into Ladakh, it has really put these local people into I'll say they are concerned that what's going on in the border. And let me remind you, the eastern border is still out of bounds for the outsiders. The outsiders are not allowed to visit the border areas. There is no communication. Mobile network in eastern Ladakh is shut for past over a month. So that creates a kind of concern among the local population that what's going to happen. So this visit is likely to address that a little, number one. And also, when I talk to some of the armed force personnel who have recently come into the Ladakh for their postings in the eastern Ladakh, when I talk to them and I ask them about what is the situation, so I think I talked to 4 or 5 people in the market who were buying essentials and all, these armed force personnel. They said that the thinking is that there should not be any war, so there has to be the efforts of the de-escalation. So even these armed forces who are there posted on the border also talked of the de-escalation. So overall, I think from here, the Prime Minister wanted to give a message to these forces that the government is all backing them, and it definitely boosts their morale. And also, from here I see that now the top boss has visited the place. So from here I see the diplomatic and the military negotiations taking the front seat. So I can tell you, I was talking to some of the residents who had come back from the eastern border areas. They had come back to the Leh city. So they were saying that the porters that are on the front line, the porters who are the civilians who work for the army and the border road organization on the front lines, they say that there have reports of minor scuffles even now between the Indian and the Chinese army. So we just have to hope that these minor scuffles don't turn violent at any point of time. And when we talk about the June 15 incident, has already put it's a mistrust between the relationship of India and China. So these minor scuffles that some of the porters have reported happen every day on the border. So we have to keep a look at that should not, any of those minor scuffles should not turn violent. But at this point of time, when China has already, when locals have confirmed that Chinese presence at the Finger Four or the Galwan Valley is as it was a few weeks back. They haven't moved back even an inch. So that gives an enough fuel for any escalation.